Okay, everybody, so I wanted to go live, but it wouldn't let me. I can't figure it out, and I'm in too much of a rush right now to sit and fiddle with it. So this is my junk journal. I told you guys I'd give you a preview when it was finished, and I bought the leather at Joann's and hand stitched this and cut this in half. And we're going to show you the junk journal and one other item that I did for a friend of mine who's helping me buy this home. This is for one friend who's been helping me out a lot, and the other item is for another friend they've all been a really big help in me getting this home and being able to make this big step in my life. I also have two or three things today. I went shopping with my bestie, and we went to this big thrift store that I've never been to before, and she introduced me to it today, and it's really awesome. So let's definitely get started. So on the bottom, I had all these strings from binding the pages, and I decided I wanted to leave them, and I had all these feathers I picked up from Jay's bead store in Tucson, and I attached them to the bottom. I fell in love with them. I also got this from Jay's. She sells them by 10 packs or individually, and these are all the pieces of different materials that I recycled and upcycled in this journal. And everybody always gives me lace because they never use it, and I love to use it, so they give it to me all the time. I have so much lace. Okay, so this is just the cover to protect the journal. This is our actual journal. So it comes out of this piece, which is, again, all hand-stitched leather that I got the leather and the stitching kit and the awl from Joann's. And here's the junk journal. All this material is all repurposed, recycled material. My lady friend that I made this for quilts and sews, and these were all of her scraps left over from her quilting projects. And these little feathers I also got from Jay's. This little cocopelli dude I got from my mom. She had an old pair of earrings she didn't want anymore, and she gave them to me, and I just took off the cocopelli and used it. And of course some more lace that's recycled, and it's stitched in underneath here. And then this is all hand stitched with my awl. I actually just stitched the material because I was running short on time and hot glued it in right here. You can see where I hot glued it. And I have this pocket here and this pocket here. But a lot of this journal is hand stitched. Right here is hand stitched. The signatures that go in right here, I used elastic, and I did that by hand too with the awl. It made it easier that way. This is also upcycled material that the lady gave me, and I thought that it looked like a saddle blanket. And she loved horses and she grew up raising them, so I decided that I wanted her signatures to be covered and look like horse blankets. Now I also have muslin in between just as a really nice barrier to kind of protect the pages. And the pages are very basic like this, blank, because I know the lady will fill it up with pictures and treasures, and she's not much for words, but I love writing space in my junk journal. So it kind of feels incomplete, but to me it's incomplete for her standards. To me it's just right because I'm not going to be the one filling this up, she is. And I have all these little tabs that I glued together and stitched in, and some rope that I used to do a lot of the stitching, and some lace that I was given. This is a leftover piece from this, and I decided that I wanted to turn it into a tab and put it in. Now some of this beautiful lace, there's a beautiful tuck spot, and I tied this to look like a 8, and just glued it on top of the lace. And here's this one, the pottery material, and here's another tuck spot. Here's another tuck spot. And I definitely hand stained all of the paper. My mom had this beautiful red tea, and when it dried, it came out like this indigo blue. It just came out beautiful. and I really know she loved horsies, so I literally cut out pieces of the material where the tabs were horses. And here's a big tuck spot and a little one on the back. And this one I think is my favorite tuck spot because it's just kind of folded down and it just looks very antique. I want to steal that idea for when I finally make my own junk journal. I wanted to keep this one so bad, but I made it especially for her, and it is my first junk journal, my first official junk journal. So here's where the elastic runs, and technically there's kind of two signatures built into one, and I just hand stitched them together. And I decided that I was going to hot glue this piece in because I really liked them, and I had a few left over and I knew she would love them. And I love how the two teas that I had blended together and made a green, because I had Lipton tea and then I had that red tea, and it kind of blurred together with the blue and the yellow to make green. I was so excited. Here's another small tuck spot. And another one. This one kind of feels empty to me, so I might add a little bit more. I handmade this little flower and then threw it on top of this little pretty piece of lace. And here's another tuck spot. And another one. And some beautiful lace right here. You could add like a little bead or something if you wanted. I was going to stitch this one, but I'm running out of time on this project, and I really wanted to get it done, so I figured if she wanted to add these accents, she could. Or the next time I see her at sewing class, because I see her every week, I could go and add some little bit more embellishments, because I'd like to add a zigzag stitch here. But I just kind of glued them down for now, because I was running out of time. Okay, so that's the first signature. And she didn't want very many pages in it, so I kept it down to like 28 pages. But this is one of my favorite pieces. I seen Amity Bloom do one, and she does amazing work. If any of you follow her on YouTube, if not, you might want to look some of her stuff up, because that's where I got this idea from. And it's a giant bookmark, and it has these little pockets where you can hide ephemera and pictures. And I was thinking, because sometimes I get lazy and don't have time, just stuff all my odds and ends in here and then come back to it later when I get a little bit more time. And I put a little horse up here for a bookmark. Now this is really thick and sturdy. I actually used a very heavy piece of cardboard to do this, so I had to hand stitch along here with the awl. And before I stitched it down right here, I hand stitched with a needle and thread. And the same thing with this, I actually had to hand stitch it before I went back in with the awl. You can see some of the little white threads here that I had a hard time cutting out to just hold it in place while I hand stitched it. But it came out very beautiful, and I was so excited. Thank you, Amity Bloom, for your idea. It was just really cool, and I really loved it. And of course, we have another horse blanket here. Thought it was really pretty. And some more muslin. So in the middle of tea staining, I actually had these paper towels with me when I was tea staining, and I laid my brushes on them, and I really liked the way that it turned out when I got finished. So I just kind of threw them in with the junk journal, and I burned the edge of the pages to give them a little bit more character. You can see where the watermark is, where I wet the page right here and left right here dry so I could burn it, and when it got down to my desired spot, it would just go out, and it just left this really cool watermark in the paper. And of course, then we have some more here, and I decided I was going to add another one of these feathers here. I thought it looked really pretty. Oh, we got a little right along there. And of course another tuck spot. I feel like I could put a bead or something right here, but like I said, I'm running out of time, and I could just let her do some of the decorating, and I'm sure she'd have a wonderful, joyous time learning this new project. I thought that was really pretty. I love the lace, and it makes it look a little bit antique-y to this Western style. And another tuck spot. And another one. I really like this one too. And the tea staining here, this is kind of one of my favorite pages. It has some character to it. And here I laid a puddle of tea and I blew it outwards and it gave this really cool effect. My mom liked the way that that looked too. Another tuck pocket. And some thread. I put some lace over here to cover this piece. And then of course I put in another tuck pocket here. And just a piece of material. And there's that first signature inside of a signature. And then there's kind of like a miniature pocket here and a miniature pocket here. And then I put some thread here just to kind of tie it together. And I want to put another piece here. I might just leave it blank and see if she wants to do something with it, but we'll see. I love the way this part came out right here. Another tuck spot. And this is folded over and there's like a little tiny lace tuck spot there. Got another right along. And this I thought came out really pretty. And here I did the blowing technique with this too, where I just laid a big drop of tea here and breathed on it really hard and it splattered it out across the page. And here's my center stitch line. I don't know if you noticed that prior, but I hand stitched these with the awl. And I really love the colors on this piece of material. I wanted to add a little bit more, and I'm really happy that I added this piece of material to the front with the horses. And I did the same thing with this, but I kind of just went crazy with it and put a couple of dots of tea on the page and just blew it all over the page, and I really like the way they came out. And this one came out really pretty too. I put a bunch of tea on it and just let it sit and it dried so pretty. And another tuck spot. I know she'll love the horses. I put a coffee mug on it just to make it look cool. And I know you probably can't see it in the video, but I picked up the paintbrush fully not knowing that the last project I worked on, I used paint with glitter in it. So there was glitter in it when I tea stained this. So some of these pictures or these pages actually have a little bit of light glittering on them, and I thought it came out really cool and made it super unique. So, and of course some more muslin and the saddle blanket material, and this here says made with love. I got those at Jay's too. You can buy them in bulk. And I hand stitched here and all around here. This whole back piece is hand stitched together. And there's a wonderful tuck pocket here. I had one of my friends sew right here real quick for me, so that way it would hold it in place. And I just added a piece of muslin, and I used fusion shape to make the front cover and the back covers. So for this one, see how thick it is? I used fusion shape. So any of you who want to try that or have any questions on that, definitely let me know. I had a lot of fun using it. And I still got some left over if anyone wants a tutorial on how to do it. And then I put this piece of lace up between this piece of material here and hand stitched it. I glued this down with a hot glue gun to make sure it wouldn't fly all over the place or get knocked off or anything, and it worked out really great. And then on the back, I hand stitched right here. I hand stitched, and right here I stitched it on the material, and then I glued it, and then the rest of this is all hand stitched. So from here to here, this piece of material is glued to this, but I hand stitched right here because I wanted it to come out perfectly all the way through on the other side and hold this lace in place really pretty. And of course I have this small piece of material that I hand stitched. And at the end, I didn't know what to do with the strings, so I just left them loose, and it worked out great because this turquoise bead fit perfect onto the string, and so did this. So it just kind of added a little extra charm on the back. So that's pretty much it. I have one more charm to put on it. I'm sorry you guys won't get to see it, but my mother made it for me because my mother and this lady are really good friends too. And she makes dream catchers out of hoops that you buy from beading stores. And see, this can sit over the back like this. I really like that. But she makes really beautiful dream catchers out of those hoops. Let me know if you want a tutorial on that too, or if you want to see them, because they are magnificent when they're done. If you're really interested, check out my Instagram at Dakota Maiden, and you will be able to... Okay, sorry about that, folks. The other half came home and the dog started barking, so I had to hit pause. Anyway, just let me know, and I will post up pictures on at Dakota Maiden on Instagram of what it looks like. And if you're really interested, just let me know in the comments, and I'll do a tutorial on how to do that. I also told you guys I would show you these wonderful things I got from the thrift store today. So I got them from this gentleman. He was very nice. It's in Tucson. It was huge. This place was like literally the size of a football field. And I got these scissors for $1. If any of you crafters know how expensive these are. I got 2 pair. And I got this wonderful picture frame with this old vintage photo. I'm going to use the photo for a junk journal. I'm pretty excited to do that. And then I'm also going to use this picture frame, which is absolutely magnificent, in my new guest bedroom. Okay, now that we're finished with that little quick ditty, I want to show you this beautiful present that I made for one of my friends. So my uncle is the... oh, shit. I'm sorry about that. So my uncle is the chief of the local fire department, and I made this beautiful thing out of some old upcycled turnouts. Now, some of you guys have seen this because I posted it on my Instagram already, and I said I wasn't gonna do it on YouTube, which I didn't do how to design it on YouTube, but I was really excited and how it came out, so I really wanted to show you. I used old firefighter turnouts, and you can't see that because it's got a name on it. But I got this helmet tag from a wonderful provider. If you're interested in his stuff, let me know, and I will link him in the comments below. His Instagram. He also has an Etsy page. Anyway, I took the highlighter material and I used it for the top band, and I made a Christmas stocking out of an old pair of turnouts, and it came out really, really beautiful. Sorry, guys. So I was really excited with how this came out, and it's very lightweight. I sewed the inside. My mom had this really nice brown piece of material that matched it perfectly. And yes, this is an official pair of turnouts. They do make them in brown. And I'm going to make one for this friend of mine. This is his. And I'm going to make a second one for my uncle. So I really can't wait to get either the other one done or give these as a gift. I'm really excited to see what they think of them. All right, everybody, that is it. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.